My name is Karina Truhanova, and I'm from Latvia. I'm working in the Ministry of Economics in the Housing Policy Department. I will speak about the very important phase before the renovation works can even be started, and it's the decision-making of owners in multi-apartment building. And my presentation will consist of three parts. Firstly, I will briefly introduce you into the topic of the decision-making, and secondly, I will tell about the decision-making optimization in Latvia, and thirdly, I will introduce you with the concept of minority protection vote. Well, in Latvia, as in other countries, renovation in multi-apartment buildings cannot be carried out without the appropriate decision of the house owners. And taking this into account, during the last 2 years, we have made several crucial amendments in the regulation to make the decision-making process more convenient and faster. So first of all, in Latvia, as in many other legal systems where multi-apartment buildings and so many owners at the same time are involved, owners must collect a certain number of votes for the decision to be made. Previously in Latvia, the law was not clear, and regarding renovation, owners collected at least 2/3 of all owner votes to start the renovation. But now it is clear that only 15 plus 1 vote is needed to make the decision. Moreover, in case the multi-apartment building constitutes joint ownership, which means that none of the owner owns exact flat, but only supposed parts of the buildings. And so for the decision to be made, 100% of owners must say, yes, we want the renovation to be started. So now with these amendments, the rule of 15 plus 1 is extended also to the buildings which are joint ownership as well. Moreover, in Latvia, it is common that on one land are located physically separated, but legally constituting one whole unit buildings. And for these cases, it is prescribed that each physically separated building can make the decisions only regarding the relevant building, and only those owners who are located in these buildings can share the costs of the construction works, for example. This rule applies only to those buildings that are separated in flat units and does not constitute the joint ownership. In addition, for the effective procedure delivering, now for house owners, it is possible to make decisions by electronic tool through building information system. Often owners are abroad or cannot attend the owners meeting physically because of any other reasons. And it can also be a pandemic situation in the country. So now it is possible to deliver decisions via electronic tool. And the very last thing which I will speak on is this concept of a minority protection vote. We are currently now working on this concept and on the amendments in law. And this concept prescribes that, first of all, if the regulation sets some requirements regarding the energy efficiency of building, for example, that at some date it must reach a class B or another class, and the majority of multi-apartment building owners vote dismissively, then even one owner can protect his rights to the energy efficiency and can request other owners to comply with the law. This request, of course, can be spoken rightly to the other owners, but this right also is possible to bring into the court. The second thing of this minority protection vote, in case the general meeting was organized and this meeting was not attended by the necessary number of owners, then in a month can be organized the meeting for the same question repeatedly. And so the decision is made by the majority of votes of those owners who attended this meeting. However, in case of surveys, if there are not given the necessary number of answers, it can also be answer no, so rejecting the decision. Then in a month can be organized repeated survey, and so the decision is made by the majority of votes of those owners who gave their positive answers in the second meeting. To sum up, this minority protection vote concept also exists in other countries. For example, in Austria and Estonia, and its main idea is to protect the minority of the majorities in action in those cases when it is more than certain that the decision must be made by owners. So we were inspired from the regulation of these mentioned countries, and now we currently trying to introduce this concept also in our decision making. And actually it is a brief information from me, and I will be happy to answer to your questions.
Thank you, Karina, for the presentation. I don't see currently questions in the chat, but maybe somebody wants to ask directly. All right, I have actually a quick question. What is the expected timeline for these amendments to enter into force? When can we expect that this will become true?
Well, as these are amendments in law, it takes a little bit longer procedure in Saeima, but we will do our best to bring these amendments, I guess, after I don't know, after half a year or even faster or maybe later. But we cannot predict the exact date, but we are doing our best, and we really hope that in the during the next year these amendments will be approved by Saeima.
All right. All right. So I believe that house owners associations are looking towards these amendments entering into force eagerly. And I believe that there have been many instances, and I've experienced several examples. I've heard about several examples directly from homeowners associations who have actually explained that this has been one of the biggest barriers in decision making, and especially this aspect of minority protection is extremely important to them, because people cannot make a decision about home renovation for 5-6 years, although the building apparently and visually and from the engineering and structural point of view needs renovation works to be done, and the decision simply cannot be made because of these constraints of in decision-making process. So indeed, I think this will be a huge relief to those who are willing to live in better conditions, in better environment, in higher comfort circumstances, with reduced energy consumption, and because people still believe that that investment today does not pay off in the future. So there is unfortunately this barrier, which is called present bias, or the bias towards investing today in favor of gaining something tomorrow. So this is still a huge barrier, and probably we need also more information and education on overcoming these things. Okay, there is a hand raised from Ilze Kukute, who represents the Latvian Finance Association. Ilze, go ahead with your question. Ilze? I see your hand raised.
Yes, I want to turn on the video, possibly to, yeah, okay. Just one comment about the amendments. I think what is important that we also look for and discuss some risks regarding this minority voting, and possibly concerning the impact on financing. And that would be very good before the amendments go to the parliament. And I completely understand what Reinis made a comment at the moment, but I think we also should discuss this impact on financing. And I think what is important also that we don't raise with these amendments some kind of, let's say, disagreements between apartment owners, and also, let's say, introduce some new burden probably when we come to the renovation process and the financing. Thank you very much.